everyone, this is Ayushi Maheshwari. Welcomes you all back to my channel Physio Gyan. In this video, I am going to explain you about the diagnosis part and the treatment part of the cervical spondylosis. In the earlier video, I already explained you about the condition, its causes and sign and symptoms. So now move on towards the assessment part. So first heading in the assessment part is the demographic data. In the demographic data, there are 4 points. That is, first you need to write down the name of the person, then gender of the person, then age and occupation of the person. Age of the person may help you to assess is this condition possible in this age, and the occupation of the condition, the image of the occupation of the condition can help you clear most of your doubts of the condition and clear most of your points that may be the causes of the condition. And while knowing the occupation of the condition, you can also provide precautions to the patient while solving. नेक्स्ट इज द चीफ कंप्लेंट, यानी कि पेशेंट को क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम है आपको उसी लैंग्वेज में लिखनी है जिस लैंग्वेज में पेशेंट ने आपसे कहा है. This is important so that you do not miss any points, any important points or any important complaints of the patient. Next is the patient history. Guys, in this video, I have took only the important points which need to be focused while assessing. But from the complete diagnosis part and in the detailed diagnosis or detailed assessment, you need to follow the David Medley. Next is the traumatic history. You need to find out is the patient have had any accident or any kind of injury in the past time, or is that condition causing the symptoms. Next is the present history. What are the problems patient when came to you are having? You need to write down all of them. Past history. Is all these conditions have occurred the before? क्या ऐसा ही सब कुछ पहले past में हुआ है उनके साथ, तब उन्होंने क्या क्योर लिया क्या नहीं लिया, अब वो सबको भी आपको पूछना है. Any type of medical history. You need to ask, is the patient suffering from diabetes? Is the patient suffering from thyroid? Is the patient suffering from any type of blood pressure problem? Any cardiac problem? You need to write all of them. Next is the personal history. Guys, this point patient is not going to explain you very well and not going to explain you very clearly. So you need to ask them very deeply. Are they smoking or are they not smoking? Are they consuming alcohol or not alcohol, not consuming alcohol? Next is the pain history. Pain history is again the very important factor. This pain history, you need to assess it very focusedly and very keenly. That is patient having pain unilaterally or bilaterally? Is pain radiating? Any signs of paresthesia present, like pins and needle sensation? Is pain present on neck flexion? Is pain present on neck extension? Is pain present on any kind of rotation? And what are the factors that are increasing the pain? What are the factors that are relieving the pain? So you need to assess all of it. And what is the type of the pain? Is the pain of dull type? Is the pain burning type? Aching pain? Continuing, present, constant pain? What type of pain it is? Okay. Next is you need to check the pillow and mattress of the person, because sometimes too soft and too hard pillow is also the cause of the condition. Then you need to ask the patient, is patient having any kind of headache, so that you can corner out the any type of headache involved in the condition, or any signs of vertigo. Next is the build. आपको पता लगाना ये जरूरी है कि आपका पेशेंट मोटा है, पतला है या नॉर्मल है. As I already told you, the obesity and inactivation is also the cause of the cervical spondylosis. So you need to find out, is the patient ectomorph, endomorph or mesomorph. Next is the palpation. Like, you need to palpate your patient from the very first cervical spine, that is atlas. Then you need to palpate axis and ask the patient, are you having pain here? Are you having pain here? Then check the C3, then check C4, C5, C6, C7, 2-3 vertebrae of thoracic spine also. Then come on to the muscles, that is upper trapezius, lower trapezius, middle trapezius. Then check supraspinatus, infraspinatus. Then check teres muscles. Then check your rhomboids muscles. Then move on towards your shoulder part. Check sternoclavicular joint. Check acromioclavicular joint. And from moving downwards, then check the biceps muscle, then brachialis muscle, then triceps muscle. So likewise, you need to check all the muscles and assess, is there any kind of tenderness present? Is there any, is there any kind of triggers present? What are the levels affected? Write down all the levels, like what are the levels of the cervical spines are affected. This will all help you to find out the cause of the cervical spine. Like, is there any type of tightness present? Is there any type of weakness present? See, when you are going to palpate the patient, that means you are going to touch your patient. Till now, up to the bit, you haven't touched your patient. Okay. Now, after the palpation part, now you move on to the observation part. In the observation part, you check all the active movements of the patient. Is the patient having complete range of motion or not? Is the range of motion which is patient is doing is painful or without pain? Then you need to check all the movements of the shoulders, neck, elbow and the wrist. Then check the upper cost syndrome present or not present. And then after the observation part, now let's move on to the examination. Continuing the examining part, in the examination part, till now you have examined all the active range of motions, all the passive range of motions, and you need to also examine the resistive movements as well. And all with this, resistive movements of the shoulder, neck, elbow and wrist, you need to also, and you should not forget to check the posture of the person from three of the views, from the anterior view, from the posterior view and from the lateral view, because the rounding of the shoulder is present mostly in the cases of cervical spondylosis. Patient is present with the kyphosis, patient is present with this shrugging type of shoulder is also present in the patient. So you need to cure all these things, then only your patient is going to cure permanently. Otherwise, you will relieve pain for temporary pain, and then this continued bad posture will cause him again pain. Next is the functional assessment. In the functional assessment, you need to check the normal breathing pattern of the person. You need to check the normal swallowing pattern of the person. And you need to know, is your patient having chronic asthma or not, or any type of functional things you need to check as well. Next is the special test. Special tests are also applied in the case of the cervical spondylosis. The first, most common is the Sperling test, that you take the patient's neck in the extended and towards the affected side. For example, if the patient is having right side affected, so you take the neck extended towards the affected side and the therapist applies pressure overhead. If pain starts radiating, then the test is positive, that is, and if not, then test is negative. One is the distraction test. Then therapist try to distract the neck of the patient and patient starts paining. So these are some tests, and more tests are like ULTT positive, upper limb tension test, ULTT 1, ULTT 2, ULTT 3 and ULTT 4. These are the median nerve test, radial nerve test and ulnar nerve test. Okay. After all of this, from the physio point of view, you have examined all these things. Now to confirm your diagnosis that you are going in the right path or not, then you ask to the patient for X-ray, any type of CT scan, or if you want, if the condition is severe, any type of EMG or any type of MRIs. Mostly the radiographs of the X-ray shows, as I told you, the cervical spine is lordotic. So the mostly the radiograph shows that is sometimes there is a more curve present in the lordosis, or sometimes there is a flat neck also present in the in the cervical spine. And X-ray may also shows some points of the degeneration of the disc as well. And for the more deep investigation, if the patient is having any pathological condition, you can go for the MRI as well. So guys, this was the diagnosis part of the cervical spine for the condition cervical spondylosis. I have covered only the important points. After the diagnosis part, that is being cleared, that is most of the diagnosis is made by your clinical features, that is sign and symptoms. And then from the physio point of view, you go with the detailed diagnosis. Okay, so now moving on towards the treatment part. First is the medical management. Here are some drugs which are provided to the patients to relieve their pain or any problems they are having, like swelling, etc. But remember, these medications need to be taken only with the prescriptions. Only when these medications are provided by the physician or any pharmacist or any kind of or any of the doctors. You are not going to take these medications without prescription. I am only explaining what are the medications to be given in this case. So focus here. And SAIDs like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are given to relieve the patient's pain. Next is the oral steroids. Sometimes oral steroids are given to decrease the swelling of the pain. Swelling and both pain of the patient. Next is the muscle relaxants. Muscle relaxants are given to decrease the muscle spasm present in the patient. Anticonvulsants and antidepressants types of drugs are given so that if the patient is having any type of tension or any type of migraine headache or any kind of headache present, sometimes what happen due to any type of tension and any type of headache, हम किसी भी प्रकार के टेंशन की वजह से हेडेक लेना शुरू कर देते हैं एंड ड्यू टू द हेडेक यू आर हैविंग दिस कंडीशन. सो टू क्योर द ओरिजिन दैट इज द टेंशन and headache symptom, you are provided with these two drugs, anticonvulsants and antidepressants. I am repeating, you are not going to take these medications without prescription. Next, soft cervical collars are also used to eliminate the acute cervical pain. What happened with these cervical collars? When you use these cervical collars, these are very soft collars. The your normal cervical lordosis is now maintaining, which have been increased due to your condition, like due to the cause or any of the condition or any of the reason you have developed the increased cervical lordosis. So this cervical collar maintains your normal cervical lordosis and it promotes the better quality of sleep by providing equal biomechanical loads at all the levels of your disc and all the levels of your cervical spine, and you may cure it better. Hey guys, so now we have reached the very important heading of the condition, that is physiotherapy management. And guys, physiotherapy is the only treatment that you can get for the cervical spondylosis. Physiotherapy ही एक ऐसा इलाज है जिससे आप अपने cervical spondylosis को completely पूरे अच्छे तरीके से cure कर सकते हैं और किसी तरीके के comparison में. So before moving on towards the treatment, first the therapist need to set some goals. आपके कुछ गोल्स सेट होने चाहिए आपके पेशेंट को ट्रीट करने के लिए. There are three important goals you need to follow. First is the relief pain. First you need to relieve the pain of your patient. After relieving the pain, you need to make your patient do daily activities, daily functional activities. That is to do ADLs. All the activities of daily life you need to, your patient may do them properly. After this, your patient is 50% cure. If you have not done the rehabilitation part, if you have not rehabilitated the patient, you have not strengthened the patient, you have not done your work completely. Because leaving the rehabilitation part may cause your patient again this condition. So you need to you need to cure the condition permanently, and you need to prevent further injuries. For that you need to rehabilitation is must. Okay. So now moving on the physiotherapy management. From the physiotherapy point of view, first of all, you can give your patient the neck isometrics. I'm going to explain you how they are given further in the video. Neck isometrics are given. Okay, when you have palpated your patient, if you have found some trigger points, TP is the trigger point, you need to release these trigger points. To release these trigger points, you can use the techniques of the massage, that is ringing method, rolling method and picking up method. This comes under the pressure release technique. If you are not able to release with these methods, then you can go for the ultrasound if you want. Okay. If the patient is having a severe pain, then you can go for the TENS as well. Next is the stretches. I am going to explain you this as well. You need to give some muscle stretches and nerve stretches to the patient. Next is the myofascial release technique. MFR means myofascial release. When you have palpated your patient, you have found some of the bellies are tight and some of them having a trigger point. So all these triggers can be released and all these tightness can be released by myofascial release technique. Guys, you need to learn this technique because this is the practical point of view and I cannot explain you in the video. Next is the cervical manipulation and thoracic manipulation. This should be given only if you are good at this. And again, this is the practical point of view. I cannot explain you in the video. Next is the posture training. If your patient have developed or having the condition due to the bad posture like this kyphotic posture or a lordotic cervical spine, then you need to give the posture training to your patient as well so that he or she may not develop this condition furthermore. And the last and the very important part by which you cannot leave your patient is the PNF patterns, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, and the strengthening techniques. Always rehabilitate your patient and then only release. Okay, so now with this, let's move on to some home exercise program which patient can do at the home if you are having a mild to moderate pain. अगर आपको थोड़ा ही पेन है तो आप ये कर सकते कंडीशन घर पे, वरना आपको इसके लिए एक फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट के पास ही जाना पड़ेगा. So first of all, let me teach you some neck isometrics. Neck isometrics like you need to lock your hands likewise, like this position. Take your hand to the back like this, and you need to apply pressure from the head to the back and from the head in front like this. See from the side view like this. Count 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and release. This you need to apply 10 times. Same thing. Lock your hands. Take in front of your head. Apply pressure. Count 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, take your hand to the sidewise. Same thing here. Same thing here. First points you need to understand while doing this. Always sit on the chair. Always sit on the stool. Either on a stool or a chair, you can take one. Always sit in front of the mirror. ये एक्सरसाइजेस आपको हमेशा कांच के सामने बैठकर ही करनी है ताकि आप ये करते समय पीछे झुके ना, या ये करते समय आप आगे झुके ना, या ये करते समय आप साइड में ना झुके. तो हमेशा मिरर के सामने बैठ के ध्यान दीजिए कि आपका पोस्चर मेंटेन रहना चाहिए. तो ये एक्सरसाइजेस आपको करनी है. Next, as I already told you, I am going to teach you some stretches. So this is the stretch. This I already explained you in the carpal tunnel video or in the treatment part. So place one hand over here, one hand over overhead, and one hand over the shoulder, and stretch like this. You will feel a complete stretch over this area, and same thing this way. Okay. Next is the some nerve stretches. This is the muscle stretch of the scalene muscles and the SCM muscles. And now I am going to explain you some nerve stretches. Median nerve stretch I already explained you in the carpal tunnel syndrome picture. Okay, so now in this, the remaining two nerve stretches are radial nerve stretch and the ulnar nerve stretch. So for the ulnar nerve stretch, you need to take your hand likewise. Just make the wow-like structure and take your 3 fingers over your jawline and try to take these circles in front of your eyes like this. इन सर्कल्स को अपनी आंखों के सामने रखने की कोशिश करें और अपने हैंड को ऐसे फैलाएं. You will feel a pressure all through your hand. This is the ulnar nerve stretch and this is going to relieve you very carefully. Okay, I forget to tell you that in the physio part, you can also teach the scapular bracing to your patients. That is, patient आपको उल्टा लेट जाना है. आप बिस्तर पे उल्टा लेट जाइए, आपके दोनों हाथ बिल्कुल बाजू में रहेंगे and you need to take your neck in this way. First flexion, then extension, flexion, then extension. Okay, एक ये एक्सरसाइज हो गई और एक ये हो गई है. ये दोनों स्कैपुलर ब्रेसिंग में आता है. आप उल्टे लेटने के बाद ही एक्सरसाइजेस परफॉर्म करेंगे. उल्टे लेट जाइए, then retract your shoulders, इनको पीछे लेकर जाइए, कंधों को फिर आगे लाइए, फिर पीछे लेकर जाइए, फिर आगे लाइए, फिर पीछे लेकर जाइए. Both the techniques of the scapular bracing needs to be done 10 times. आपको ये 10 times repeat. Okay guys, now I am going to teach you the radial nerve stretch. The median nerve stretch I already explained in my first video of the carpal tunnel syndrome. You can learn it from there. Ulnar nerve stretch I already explained. Now moving on to the radial nerve stretch. For the radial nerve stretch, take the affected hand likewise in the pronated position. Then extend your, first make a fist. Then extend your wrist and then take it backward like this. Then you will feel the pressure over here. You are going to feel the pressure over here. Hold it for 10 seconds, like 10, 9, 8, 7, for the 10 seconds and then release. Again do it for the 10 seconds and release. You need to apply all these stretches for the 10 seconds and release for the 3 times. Okay, now I am going to explain you one more muscle stretch, that is the pectoralis major stretch. It is mostly found in case of the cervical spondylosis. Your pectoralis major muscles are contracted due to the lengthening of the back muscle, that is called as the upper cross syndrome. So for that you need to keep your feet closer and you need to go in likewise. Likewise, find one corner in your house and you need to perform this stretch in the corner area. Put your feet closer, put your hands likewise, and you need to go inside. Count down for 10 seconds, then release. Again count down for 10 seconds and release. By this way, you are going to find the stretch over your shoulder girdle area and you will release your pectoralis major muscles. So guys, this was the cervical spondylosis. Hope you all learned and hope I helped you with all your home program and keep doing exercises.